speaker, and I always say this because I am pretty much. But there are a few things that I wanted to remember to say, and sometimes I just don't say all the things because I get some nervous. People were saying to me today, "Oh, thank you for doing this," and I thought it was really strange because I just thought, what else would I be doing, and who else would do it? More confident than I am, but we have had a relationship. We have had this relationship for 50 years. You know? We have had each other's back for 50 years, and I've actually had your back since I was 9. When I was 9 years old, and I have to tell you, I came from a very strange family. Everyone was artists, and all of our friends were artists, actors, singers, sculptors, whatever. You know, I didn't even know there were unattractive people until I went to school. Because everybody was so cool. So one day, my mother and Colleen, her best friend, come home with these two guys, and I'm thinking, these are different guys. These guys are so much fun. How come everyone else didn't like these guys? They were hairdressers. And they took us to Palm Springs for the weekend. And did my hair, and I just felt like a princess. So that was my first introduction. But I met my first lesbian girl, and I was 11. And she was a friend, she was the girlfriend, oh my God, no one had to know that. But she was it was a long time ago when I was 11. So she was the girlfriend of my mother's other best friend. And I just remember she was so wonderful and treated me like I was a grown-up, not like I was a kid. Her name was Scotty, came from Hawaii, her father was Scottish and her mother was Hawaiian. And she was just wonderful, and we became good friends for the rest of my life. We were close friends for the rest of my life. So I have been involved with you guys, and then of course there's Chaz. And I mean, you're not going to believe it. This is stupendous, and I'm not just saying it because I'm his mother, but it's really fabulous, and it's going to be all over everywhere, and it's amazing, and he's brilliant in it. Okay, so enough commercial. I'm here for a multitude of reasons, but I'm here one out of love and one out of fear. Because I know that, like they said the other day, you know, why are you doing this? And I said, because I'm so frightened for what's going to happen to this particular group, this particular community. I know that there are going to be other people, other minorities that are going to be totally screwed as well. But I honestly fear for your safety. And I'm not kidding, I totally fear for your safety. I mean, Mike Pence, as we know, wishes away. And then, I don't know if you know this, but I was watching the news, and they were talking about how Donald Trump, first be his name. Donald Trump had gone to this 7-hour closed-door meeting with these like 400 religious zealots, and as I've said before, I know they weren't talking about, is it still cool to lose fans when you dance? I fear for you because I know what they will try to do. They will try to turn back every clock. They will try to take away every one of your rights. And like they've done with women, you know, women have lost their rights in such unbelievable ways. You know, I feel like what happened to the 70s? We already fought this battle. People hate because they think they're right. It's like every battle, that person on that side feels God's with them. You know, and that's what these people feel like. They feel like God's with them and this is their mission. And so I feel that we have to work twice as hard so to protect ourselves. And I count myself among them. Okay. I was going to introduce her. And then all of a sudden I was backstage and Christina was she was going to go on backstage, everybody was setting up. And I could hear noise in front of the curtain, but I didn't know who it was. And then the curtain opens and she comes back. And I go, and I said, I have to go on after you? I don't want to do that. And then she like came and grabbed me and she said, oh, it'll be okay, my little Oscar winner. President. And like girls would do, I went, oh my God, I called you that. And we started squealing. It was like, we were squealing and it was fun. And also there are pictures of it. If you go on my Twitter, you'll see pictures of us being crazy. All right, so I helped work with her on the Senate campaign, and we were doing these teas, and I really wasn't, like, I didn't know how I felt about her, but all I knew was that I wanted to meet this woman that the GOP had been trashing since the beginning of Bill getting into office. So we did the teas, and we were at this hotel, and so the teas consisted of, they set up tea, oh shit, I was so over tea by the end of it. So they set up the teas and the ladies would come in and Hillary would give like a great speech and she would be so warm and she would be so fabulous and then she and I would go back in the back while they set up another tea. And so, but I was kind of like, not meaning to, but kind of grilling her, you know, like asking her all these kind of questions, and then at the end of the day I said, you are so much fun, and you are so warm, and you are all these things that I've never seen when you speak. And she said, and I said, why? And she said, because she got so crushed. I hope she doesn't mind me telling the story. Too late now. And she said because she got so crushed by the GOP just for trying to set up health care, and she never thought it would be so personal. And she said it made her kind of pull in, and she's shy. So it was difficult, you know, and so she kind of kept that with her. But, you know, she is shy, and she's not the greatest speaker in the world, but she is, I believe that that she will work every moment of every day. I cannot believe that she does this constantly. I've been doing it for 3 days. And I'm like, oh my God, give me the smelling salts. So, I mean, this chick is just tougher than Chinese algebra. I know another thing about her. heart, you know, and she really cares. I have a friend who's the mayor of Flint, Karen, and Karen was at my house, and she was saying how she believed that Hillary really felt, and she could see like the empathy and the agony, and knew that Hillary was being really genuine. And I believe that too. I believe, you know, none of us are perfect, but I believe she's genuine, and I believe, unlike Trump, who his friend of 20 years said the other night, Donnie Deutsch, said, he doesn't want to be president, he said no one's more surprised than him. He wants the crowds, he wants the adulation, he doesn't give a shit about the work. With the teleprompters, and it's like, I don't know, there's not many people who are going to know this, but do you remember Fun with Dick and Jane? Okay, it's like racist Fun with Dick and Jane. We're going to build walls. We're going to keep, he doesn't mean either we want to make America great again, he means we want to make America straight and white. In that kind of bizarre thing, like, and also I love this, like LGBT and queer. And it's like he just learned it, you know? Before he went out, someone's whispered his ear, okay, it's and queer. So I just think he's a fucking idiot. Despots, you know, Stalin, Hitler, but then I thought, you know, even though they said the same things, we're going to make Germany great again. And it was at a time when the Deutschmark, I think, was 25 cents. And also, like, look at Brexit. These people just screwed themselves so badly because they were angry, and they didn't think that it could get worse. They didn't think that they thought their anger was going to, you know, that Nigel Farage and Boris Johnson were going to lead them to the promised land, and then they win, and Nigel Farage and Boris Johnson go, we can't do anything, we lied. So anyway, so I was tired of like trying to compare him to Hitler, and I was thinking, well, who can I do it? And then I thought, oh my God, Patty McCormick in the bad seat. He's so Patty McCormick. You know, consummate liar, doesn't care who she hurts, you know, insane, and you know, sociopathic narcissist. So anyway, I just wish he'd fall off the face of the earth. I believe in her so much. I believe in Hillary so much. And I know that if he got into office, our world would be the worst place. We could never, I don't think we could imagine how bad it could get. And so it's not just that I believe in her. I think she's wonderful. I think she is a hard worker. And I think that if breaking news ever happened and he had to go to the podium, we would just all go, fuck.
my co-chair, Alex Ritchie, and we are thrilled you are here.
I just want to thank all of you, for being here in this incredibly magical place, Provincetown, where the Pilgrims first landed. Thank you. And may the spirit of this take this person to the White House.
I want to start with a little history lesson if you haven't already heard this, and I just mentioned this to Hillary inside, that on November 11th, 1620, just behind you, just right there, Hillary in the bay, the Mayflower arrived here. It took them 67 days to get here. They spent 35 days out there. And they didn't get off that boat until they wrote the Mayflower Compact. So, right here in Provincetown Harbor, they laid out the founding principles of self-government. So doesn't it make sense that Hillary's here today? So I think that, I know that John McDonough, if he's here, he's the executive director of the Pilgrim Monument. Please say hello to him. He'll be thrilled because I invited Hillary back in 2020. It's the 400th anniversary. So let's think about this. If we do our job right, and we get Hillary Clinton elected president, I should say when we get Hillary Clinton elected president, I promised her it would be much easier to get to Provincetown and land Marine One right in the parking lot, so that we can celebrate. So my job really is to be the thank you man.